up, all my fight fans? So I got a question for you guys. After this whole fight that we had with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, I want to ask you guys something. How do we fix boxing? Because you know what? It is getting so old so fast. And I think our attention spans and us having the patience of waiting around for the fights and then also getting these mediocre, decent undercard fights. Like, we want some really good undercard fights. We actually used to have really good undercard fights, if we remember, in some of the Mayweather cards. Like, if you remember Mayweather Cotto, you had Canelo Alvarez versus Shane Mosley. If you remember Mayweather and Alvarez, you had Danny Garcia and Lucas Matiste there defending their titles. So, like, we've had some exciting undercard fights in multiple different fight cards. We just stopped doing that now. And why we got away from that? So we need that for one. We need better undercard fights. That's a big way how we can fix that. Also, we need lesser rounds in boxing non-title fights, because a non-title doesn't have to go, or should not go, 10 rounds. It should go 8 or less, honestly. You know, like, it's really, because it gets to the point where, like, we are seeing the same thing over and over again. We're seeing these guys hold each other. We're seeing these guys do whatever they can to not lose, because that's what is important. That's what also another thing I want to talk about is what's destroying boxing is the whole not losing portion of it. I'll get into that in a sec. But yes, the main thing I want to say is the undercards. The undercards really need to be fixed, and the timing of the timing of the fights need to be fixed. Meaning, how long the rounds need to be, because the rounds do not need to be 8 rounds, or 10 rounds for a non-title fight. Hell, remember back in the day, it used to be 15 rounds, and they lowered it for a championship fight to 12. Maybe that's what they should do again. Maybe they should do 10 for championship rounds, 8 for non-title fight rounds. I wouldn't mind that, because it gives the guys a little bit more urgency. It gives the guys a little bit more time to actually go out there and prove that you should be the best, that you want to be the best. So that's one of our 1 or 2 ways how we fix boxing. Another way we need to fix boxing is boxing needs a home again. Boxing needs a place where it can hang its hat. Like, we had HBO, ESPN, Showtime. We had Friday Night Fights. There was just so many other platforms that boxing had that we don't have it anymore, that we just do not know where to see it. That's what we need. We need platforms, and we need an organization to where this is where we can see boxing. You know, we don't need it to be the night of, or when the fight gets announced, oh, it's going to be on Netflix, or it's going to be on pay-per-view, or DAZN, or whatever the case may be. It needs to be where we can access it, no problem. That's another reason why boxing is failing. Another why boxing is failing, we don't need the show anymore. We don't need a concert. We don't need it long waited out main events where you're hearing concerts and the long walkouts and just so much other stuff going down that it just takes forever. By the time the fight starts, you're just exhausted, you're tired, you're ready to call it a night. You know, especially if you're living in a different part of the country, you're just like, dude, it is 1 a.m, I'm ready to go to sleep. So that needs to stop as well. So we need to fix that. Of course, we already know the main cause and how we fix boxing is fighters need to fight each other. Fighters need to risk it all. Fighters need to stop doing this whole Mayweather route. Excuse me, I know I'm always bashing on Mayweather. Mayweather is a great fighter, but the way he did things, a lot of the fighters are trying to replicate it, and it's making boxing horrible. And that is fighting lesser opponents and less dangerous opponents and doing their best to make the most money, and fighting less within a year. And that's what's destroying boxing. We need to be more active. I agree with the more money part. Please make as much money as you possibly can, and you need to risk it. Like Terence Crawford this past Saturday, he risked it all. Even though Canelo Alvarez is a little long in the tooth, has some long boxing years, and has some he's had some more experience than Crawford and whatnot, and he wasn't the biggest, but still, Canelo Alvarez is still very dangerous. Canelo Alvarez could have easily knocked out Terence Crawford if given the chance, but Terence Crawford did not allow that. And still, nonetheless, Terence Crawford did not want no rehydration clause. He did not want no catch weight. He went up there at Canelo's weight and challenged him what the weight that Canelo was at, what the champion he was at. So yeah, we need more fighters like that. That's what we need. That's how I feel like we will be in the perfect way and how we can fix boxing. That's my personal opinion, guys. I would like to hear more from you guys. Let me know in the comments of what you think we should do, or well, not we, but the boxers should do, or the organization of boxing should do to get this fixed, and we can have a little bit more exciting fights and a little bit more less concerts, less of everything, and just more fights, because that's what we really want to see. That's what we're paying for. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.